Kyle Klingman with Track Wrestling from the 2019 World Championships. I'm with Andrew Hamilton. We're in the iZone. There's a mix zone over here where they interview athletes, and we saw this great couch over here. We don't know what iZone means, but we're going to take advantage of it. Tim Foley, who's with the media side, said it's just a place you can relax and just have a little bit of fun, and that's what we're going to do. Yeah, we're going to have fun. So we had a chance to talk with Matt Linlin. He told a couple stories. We've got a lot of breakdowns from the athletes, but let's just go through the Greco-Roman performance. I think the one thing we said was it just felt like a different energy. Didn't come away with a medal, but it did feel like there was just some progress that was made, and it probably starts with Max Nowry making a world team after his 11th attempt. He gets 5th place. No qualifications yet for the Olympics for the United States, so the work cut out for him. But let's just talk about that energy and what you felt from the Greco-Roman team.
Well, I've been to, 10 World Championships now, and including age group World Championships, and I've been to some that have been pretty dark tournaments for the USA Greco program. I remember last year in Romania, U23s, they didn't win a match. Last year in Budapest, rough tournament there, aside from Adam Kuhn winning a world silver, but there was only 3 guys that won matches last year in Budapest. I think there were, were there 8? 7, I think, this go round. Won more matches as a team, in a lot more matches. Just felt a lot different. I mean, guys felt like they were pulling the rope in the same direction. That's the vibe you get from this team. Now the challenge for them is, as you mentioned, first things first is to get those weights qualified for Tokyo, going to the Pan Am Games qualifier next March up in Canada. But beyond that is getting over the hump, winning these close matches, getting to the next level.
And then just with the next level is just, you talk about those close matches, and they were in some tight ones. I think the guy that we thought was the highest medal contender was Jangelo Hancock, and he looked like he could get that done. Just has all the skills, all the tools. He's just like a step away from winning a medal at the World Championships.
Well, the thing that we forget sometimes, and I'm guilty of it probably as much as anybody, because been so many tournaments with him overseas here in the last 3 years. I mean, Junior World Championships, U23s, senior level in 2017, last year a couple World Championships as well, U23 and senior level, and he's competed all over the globe at the senior level the last couple years. And we forget sometimes, I forget sometimes, he's 22 years old. And this is a grown man sport. You see guys, like the guy that took him out yesterday, 36-year-old world champion, won a world title in 2014. And you see guys in the Greco, they've got a little bit longer shelf life. So there are brighter days ahead for him. I think that, as you mentioned, he's got an unbelievable upside. And it's putting it all together on that day when it's most important. That's going to be the key for him, because he's on his best days. He has won tournaments overseas. He pinned 4-time world and Olympic champion Artur Alexanian in 27 seconds a year ago, I believe, in Poland. He's had some tremendous results here and there. Just got to put it all together when it really matters most.
And then in talking to Matt Linlin, we spent about 30 minutes just picking his brain on some concepts and some ideas. And the one thing he's very aware of is that there's a lot of good college guys that go all in with freestyle. And then once they might try their hand at Greco, they just aren't patient enough to see it out a little bit. They may not get the results right away that they want, because it is a different style, completely different thinking, completely different training mechanism. And they might lose a couple, and then they're out. And I think the more we can get some of those guys, and he mentioned Bo Nickel by name, like, can you imagine if Bo Nickel decided to go Greco, what he could do out here against those guys? And that was a name that I think that would intrigue people if he were to make a Greco-Roman world team.
A little bit of the chicken and the egg, right? I mean, you need higher level athletes to buy in. Look at what we've talked about this before, Kyle, the 2007 team and all the college flavor that team had that won the Greco world team title. You need more numbers, you need more athletes. You also need guys that are invested a little bit more in the Greco side of things, that can fine-tune some of the intricacies of Greco-Roman wrestling. But they also need success to happen to be a drawing card, to make it more of a glorious sport in the United States. Right now, clearly freestyle is the show. I mean, we see at the college level that there's 20,000 people in the stands for the NCAA championships with regularity, and those are the guys that are filtering into the college system. They've got the following. There's more attention placed on it. The crowds are larger for freestyle. The audience is larger for freestyle. So can we get some Greco athletes, some bigger stars that step into Greco and stick with it, some stars to build around? Thought that maybe Kamal Bey would be that guy after 2017, the way he ran roughshod through the Junior World Championships, and I think put 63 points on the board, winning a Junior World title. And I think the next best guy, point-wise, in the tournament was maybe like 20 points behind, something like that. But Kamal didn't make the team this year. Pat Smith knocked him off in Final X. So can we get some Greco stars to build around? Adam Kuhn winning a silver last year was big, but he didn't follow that up this year. Will he stick with it in 2020, make the team, and go on and perform in Tokyo? Remains to be seen.
And then we'll end with this. The fans were nuts here in Kazakhstan. Just some great performances by some of their athletes. And boy, the energy here when they're out on the mat, you'd expect that, but boy, the energy was just as high as I've ever felt. They were really into their hometown wrestlers, home country wrestlers here at the World Championships.
It was awesome. It was like Budapest last year with the Hungarians in the Greco finals. And the crowd really showed up for that. I think we're going to have a big freestyle crowd here too, but man, it's awesome to see when they get into it, because it brings a whole different energy to this arena, and they were into it. They were into it in 77 kilogram quarterfinals, round of 16, when their guy knocks off Roman Vlasov. Place was bonkers.
And then we will also inform you that next year the Olympics are in Tokyo in 2020, and we know that just by the press that's here. Unbelievable when there's a Japanese wrestler coming off the mat and he wins. I would say conservatively there's 20 members of the media, maybe a little bit more. But okay, so up to 25, 30, but it's absolute pandemonium. And as you said, there's probably going to be 15 times that when it's in Tokyo next year at the Olympics. So Olympic fever going on right now, but we're at the World Championships. We've broken down the 2019 Greco-Roman side of it. We'll have women's and men's freestyle coming up next.